Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I'm excited by the prospect of having the Honourable Nobert MAO having to answer to questions relating to transparency of elections at this moment in our constitutional history. Because for so long a time, he's been a victim. And if the next election in any way becomes botched by virtue of a wrongly assembled register, he will be both a culprit and an abettor of that fraud. So I am happy he's here to answer to these questions in earnest. I have a few issues for him, Honourable Speaker. One, what kind of register will finally come out of this process? Will it be biometric or manual? Aware of the trouble that we had in the last series of elections, courtesy of bearing different types of registers used concurrently at polling stations, and what that heralded in terms of transparency, especially in trying to curtail multiple voting. Two, Right Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Nsereko made allusion to part of the duty that the Honourable MAO owes this nation, namely to offer leadership on key reform issues that have been a subject of court variously, the Supreme Court, including particular and peculiar orders to be followed, including the correction of the nature of register. I want to be specific. The Honourable MAO is alive to the ruling in the Karali State University, the Attorney General, to which there was no appeal lodged by the Attorney General, that the continuation of disenfranchising Ugandans in the diaspora and prisoners is a serious violation of their right to exercise their civic rights. So are you going to abet this continuation of this violation? It was declared unconstitutional and a violation of their rights to vote. So as a Minister of Justice and as a former victim, if there is such a thing as a former victim of disenfranchisement, are you prepared to abet this illegality and violation of the Constitution? Lastly, second last, I am aware some months back, the Honourable MAO was very warm and enthusiastic about constitutional reforms and electoral reforms, and that with the Speaker will not extend my time. Can allow me to, he has indicated that propensity not to extend my time. That Honourable Speaker, I'm aware the Honourable MAO's enthusiasm has since gone down because allegedly he had a very good document on reforms, electoral and constitutional, including the transition. And because of that last statement, some people broke into his office and saw everything, the document, the computers, and he has nothing now to work with. May we know whether he's working on something fresh or he needs help to go back to his text that offered this country some gleam of hope that would transition. Because the question I would have asked the Speaker, you're going to answer, and of course, I have a procedural matter I would reserve to the Right Honourable Speaker related to that matter. I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
The issues that have been raised by the Right Honourable Mathias Mpuuga are very important. And since his arrival on the national stage, seeking to become a national leader, obviously it is important that that the government is seen to be taking him seriously. But let me say that the Right Honourable Mpuuga has arrived, but these issues had arrived before him. These issues had already arrived, and we are definitely dealing with them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Has misled all of us here that there is likely to be a council which has 5 members. Obviously, he was quoting the law, but I don't think he is very well acquainted with it, because under Section 124, the law says that no council shall have less than 10 members. So now where do you get this fiction apart from a novel? If you are reading the Local Government Act, and then you are quoting a novel,
Order.
obviously, there will never be a council with 5 members because the law puts the minimum at 10.
Thank you. Honourable Minister will conclude.
It's a general principle which we should all accept. Secondly, if you can persuade, why should you direct? It's important that we also do not underrate our power of persuasion. In any case, the people are busy persuading the Electoral Commission on your behalf. The very people you represent are speaking for themselves to the Electoral Commission now. I propose that we give the Electoral Commission time. I do believe that they will do the right thing because elections are about the people. Concerning the workers, I have consulted with the Minister of Local Government, and I wish to inform this House that under Section 131, there will be an amendment so that the workers don't get excluded. I hope that assures the Honorable Katambuka that the workers will be included. On the question raised by the Honorable Karubanga Jacob Atenyi, basically it is about those who are considered to be stateless. Let me state here that the fact that your tribe is not in the Constitution doesn't mean that you cannot vote. Everybody feels that everything should be included in the Constitution. The Constitution is a supreme document and doesn't need to have everything. The Ugandan Constitution is 10 times the size of the American Constitution. And I don't think the American Constitution has served the American people any worse than ours. Therefore, that conversation about everybody wanting to be in the schedule is another conversation. Let's separate it from the issue of voting. The right of the diaspora to vote is the policy of the government that the diaspora should vote. What we intend to do is now to translate that policy into law. But the policy is that our diaspora, who are daily being celebrated for their contribution to the government, should not be excluded. On the use of technology, I want to already took the bill to the cabinet. And the cabinet had some reservations and referred the bill to a committee which is chaired by the Honorable Chris Bariomunsi. So I hope on Monday he will report to cabinet. The use of technology is very important to deal with the question of ballot stuffing, where people who never showed up at a polling station vote. In this case, the record in the machine must tally with the ballot papers that are cast. We have even created an offense, a term of imprisonment for up to 5 years for any presiding officer under whose watch the votes cast don't tally with the votes that are recorded in the machine. We are even proposing, it is in the law, and in any case the law will come here after it has left cabinet, and you can improve it as you wish. We are even proposing